It may surprise or even shock you to hear what I'm about to say, but if you're seeing this video right now, it's no accident. You, a true chosen one, have navigated a series of life tests so demanding and relentless that even you questioned whether you'd make it through. Somehow, despite the doubt, the late-night anxieties, and the unexpected twists that nearly broke your spirit, you found the will to persist. Now, finally, the universe has taken note of your dedication and integrity. Within the next 48 hours, you will witness a turn of events so affirming that it will leave no doubt you've passed the toughest exams life could throw at you. If even a small part of your heart leaps at these words, please like this video, subscribe, and comment 77 feet below to show you're ready to embrace the reality of this transformation. Chapter 1. A door you once feared is about to open. You've lived in a world where every step forward felt accompanied by a jarring echo of past disappointments. Each time you tried to seize an opportunity, an internal voice reminded you of previous letdowns. Now imagine that door, the one you've walked by countless times, never daring to open, finally creaking on its hinges. The dread you once felt is melting into cautious anticipation. No longer do you have to push or force it. The handle seems to turn on its own, as though recognizing that your readiness matches the threshold's invitation. You might recall how you'd stare at that door in your mind's eye, imagining all the what-ifs. What if I step through and fail again? What if the success is short-lived? You put it off, thinking you needed more time, more experience, or just a stronger nerve. But life's harshest test has steadily been forging your resilience, and weathering storm after storm, you inadvertently gathered the very confidence you feared you lacked. So now that barrier that once loomed so large feels more like a gateway, a simple boundary you can cross whenever you're ready. As you sense it shift, a surprising calm may come over you. Your spirit recognizes that the grueling trials you endured weren't for nothing. They shaped a version of you who can handle what lies beyond. Passing those tests didn't just get rid of obstacles, it reshaped your identity. You're no longer the hesitant soul trembling at the unknown. Each tough lesson reinforced your courage. So even if uncertainty still lingers, it's matched by a faith that something vital and welcoming lies on the other side. Stepping through that door might mean accepting an offer you once considered beyond your reach, or finally speaking up for yourself in a situation that required your silence for too long. It could also be letting go of the guilt or blame that kept you from living joyfully. Whatever it is, it's not just about physical movement, it's a profound emotional and spiritual crossing. The best part? You don't need to force it. The universe is practically ushering you forward, rewarding you for your perseverance. All that remains is for you to take a deep breath and step through. Chapter 2. The weight you didn't realize you were carrying. It's human nature to adapt to burdens over time. The heaviness of ongoing stress or responsibilities becomes normal, woven into your daily existence. You might not even notice you're carrying an extra load until it's gone. Have you sensed a certain exhaustion that you just chalked up to modern life? Maybe it manifested as a persistent fatigue you attributed to lack of sleep, or a low-level gloom you blamed on external circumstances. And yet the root ran deeper, a spiritual or emotional weight clinging to your spirit. These hardest exams you passed were partly about highlighting just how heavy that weight was. Each challenge arrived, forcing you to face a slice of your past or a facet of yourself you've been ignoring. The more you confronted, the more you released. Think about the times you decided, no more hiding from this issue, it's time to deal with it. And in dealing, you gradually put down parts of that burden. The effort left you weary, but you felt a subtle sense of lightness too. Now, in hindsight, you can appreciate how those hardships chipped away at layers of old habits, unresolved pain, or limiting beliefs. You might not have recognized it at the time. It's hard to see the big picture when you're in the thick of conflict. But each passing test loosened the grip of illusions that told you life was unavoidably hard. Without those illusions, you notice you're standing taller, that your breath comes easier, and the path ahead doesn't look so overwhelming. Take a moment to think of a recent instance where you surprised yourself by not reacting with your usual stress or anxiety. Did you catch that? You felt freer, less pinned down by a sense of dread. That's because the weight you assumed was part of your identity is no longer pressing on your shoulders. Passing the exams wasn't just about externally solving problems, it was about reshaping your inner landscape. And now, as that reshaping nears completion, you notice your heart has room to hope again, to dream in color rather than grayscale. This newfound lightness is also why you're open to blessings appearing in the coming hours. Without layers of emotional baggage, you're more receptive to good news, opportunities, and simple joys. You can let happiness in without second guessing whether you deserve it or suspecting it will vanish. The emptiness once filled by hardship is now a vessel eager to be poured into. That emptiness holds possibility, and the universe, having observed your journey, is only too eager to fill it with something extraordinary. Chapter 3. Why 48 Hours Matters. The phrase 48 hours might ring in your ears like a deadline or a ticking clock. But this isn't about imposing pressure on you. It's about emphasizing the immediacy of the blessings swirling in your field. We live in a universe that often works through divine timing, and while time can be a flexible concept, sometimes it aligns in dramatic ways that intensify our awareness. In the next 2 days, you'll likely notice at least one breakthrough, an event or realization that cements your sense of forward motion. You've probably asked yourself if time frames like 48 hours are arbitrary, yet many who have experienced pivotal moments in life can attest to how quickly things can change once you've readied your spirit. Maybe it's a phone call that comes out of nowhere, or a seemingly random conversation that leads you to a transformative opportunity. Just as storms gather and disperse on their own schedule, blessings often converge around a specific window, drawing in everything needed to materialize. Why does this matter to a chosen one like you? Because the confidence that a shift is imminent can accelerate the energy around you. Knowing you're on the cusp of something big inclines you to pay attention, to respond swiftly when a sign crosses your path. You're less likely to shrug off that nudge, that invitation, or that idea that flashes in your mind while you're cooking dinner. You're primed to say yes, even if you don't see the full picture yet. It's not about guaranteeing that a life-altering windfall will drop in your lap the second the clock hits the 48-hour mark. Rather, it's trusting that seeds of change have already been planted, and they're about to sprout. Even a small bloom, a gesture of kindness, a confirmation of your talents, or a revelation that simplifies a nagging issue, can signal the turning of the tide. You'll know it when it happens. A feeling of "this is what I've been waiting for," accompanied by a calm certainty that the wait is truly over. Let yourself lean into the possibility. Your willingness to believe that something meaningful can unfold so soon is, in itself, a powerful magnetic field. If skepticism sets in, remember how far you've come. You survived the hardest exams unannounced, persevering when logic said you should quit. A 2-day window for magic is child's play in comparison to what you've already endured. So carry an open heart, watch the signs, and be ready to receive. The next 48 hours won't just be more of the same. They'll be the unveiling of what you've unknowingly earned through your trials. Chapter 4. Facing the remnants of self-doubt. Even with the promise of forthcoming blessings, part of you might still harbor self-doubt. After all, a recurring theme in enduring long, arduous life tests is the eventual questioning of your own capabilities. It's common to think, have I really passed those toughest trials, or am I just on a brief reprieve before the next blow lands? This skepticism, while understandable, can dampen the power of the upcoming shift. Let's address it directly. Recognize that self-doubt is often rooted in past disappointments, times you thought relief had arrived only to find more obstacles lurking. Maybe you were so close to a dream job or a healing in a key relationship, but it all slipped away. The memory of such near misses can echo loudly whenever you hear promises of better days. Yet here's what's changed. You. The lessons learned in each disappointment and the resilience gained from each letdown have reformed the very core of who you are. You're not repeating the same patterns with the same mindset. You're coming from a place of greater wisdom. Additionally, ask yourself if you've conflated your previous challenges with an inevitable outcome. When you define your future by your past, you locked yourself in a cycle of self-fulfilling prophecies. But breaking through those hardest exams already broke that cycle. Now, the only thing that could hold you back is your reluctance to believe that you've genuinely graduated into a new phase. If you cling to the idea that trouble is always around the corner, you unwittingly invite it to stay. The good news is that self-doubt, though stubborn, can be displaced by incremental affirmations of your progress. Each small achievement, each moment you navigate a challenge with newfound ease should be consciously acknowledged. A brief mental note that used to terrify me, but I handled it, is enough to reinforce that you're no longer the person you were. Over time, these tiny recognitions add up, weakening the grip of doubt. Don't expect to eradicate self-doubt entirely in a single breath. It might still pop up like a reflex, but you have a choice each time. Feed it or gently redirect your focus to the evidence of your own evolution. Trusting yourself doesn't have to be an all-or-nothing proposition. You can trust yourself a little more each day, bit by bit, until the scale tips definitively in favor of faith over fear. In moments when self-doubt seems especially persistent, take a second to revisit the trials you've already conquered. You weren't just lucky, you demonstrated resolve and overcame conditions that once felt insurmountable. If you held strong then, you can do so again now. Except this time, you're backed by the memory of countless victories, big or small. That memory is a living testament to your capacity. You might also find it helpful to share your story with someone you trust. Sometimes simply voicing, "I feel uncertain about what comes next," can release some of the pressure you've been bottling up. In turn, this honest expression often draws empathy or stories from others who overcame similar doubts. Such exchanges remind you that self-doubt isn't a personal failing. It's part of the universal journey of growth and discovery. Gradually, you realize that the quiet reoccurrence of doubt doesn't signal failure. It marks another threshold for improvement. Each time it appears, it offers a fresh chance to reaffirm your progress. And as those moments accumulate, you'll find that faith in yourself becomes the more natural stance. The question ceases to be, "Am I just on a lucky streak?" and becomes, "How will I use this new chapter of faith to build a life that resonates deeply with my soul?" Once you're there, self-doubt holds less power, overshadowed by the brighter horizon waiting for you to embrace it fully. Chapter 5. Opening to Guidance and Support. In transitioning from the trials you've endured to the blessings at hand, you might sense a pull to rely on support, both earthly and divine. Maybe you've prided yourself on being fiercely independent, handling your burdens alone. But part of passing those hardest exams involves learning that seeking help or accepting assistance doesn't diminish your strength. It complements it. The right allies can expedite your journey toward those rewards that are finally within reach. In fact, what once felt like extra hands or outside voices can become the crucial scaffolding that lets you build higher than you ever believed possible. Support can come in many forms. There may be a mentor figure, someone whose experience resonates with what you've just overcome. Or it might be a close friend who, while they haven't walked exactly the same path, offers a safe space for you to process new feelings. You could also discover new communities, online forums, local gatherings, or classes where like-minded souls share tips, encouragement, and stories of triumph. By connecting with them, you discover your struggles weren't just personal misfortunes, but woven into a broader tapestry of human resilience. Hearing how others overcame similar challenges can reaffirm that your own progress, though unique, is also part of a bigger narrative. Then there's guidance from beyond. You may find yourself naturally drawn to prayer, meditation, or other spiritual practices you once overlooked. When you allow your mind to calm and your heart to soften, intuition sharpens and universal guidance flows in. You might wake up with clearer insights or notice synchronicities so precise they feel almost orchestrated. While you always had this channel, the weight of those trials made it difficult to trust or even perceive it. Now, with the curse of endless struggle lifted, you're more receptive to those gentle whispers guiding you toward your rightful blessings. It can feel akin to reuniting with a long-lost friend you didn't realize you missed. Admittedly, it can feel vulnerable to accept help in any capacity. Maybe you're used to seeing reliance as weakness, or you've had negative experiences where you tried to lean on someone and ended up feeling betrayed. This period is your chance to rewrite that narrative. By selecting allies who demonstrate genuine empathy and wisdom, you ensure that the support you receive enriches you instead of draining you. The synergy between your internal strength and well-chosen external help forms a powerful force for good, far stronger than either alone. In leaning on others, you might also be helping them fulfill a purpose, one where their gifts can uplift someone else. Ultimately, trusting guidance, whether from mentors, friends, or higher realms, reinforces the idea that you're not alone in this next phase. Life doesn't have to be a solitary marathon. You carry your own torch, yes, but you can walk among others who illuminate the path as well, each contributing a spark to a collective glow. And as you embrace these supportive elements, your faith in the 48-hour promise strengthens, because there's a living network of energy weaving you toward everything you've been promised. Even if you catch yourself hesitating or feeling unworthy, a supportive hand can quickly remind you of how far you've come and how close you are to receiving exactly what your spirit has been aching for. Chapter 6. Welcoming the tangible signs. As the final pieces slide into place, keep your eyes open for signals, both within and around you, that confirm this new era is dawning. You may sense inexplicable bursts of excitement or a serene calm when you discuss plans that once triggered apprehension. You wake up in the morning without the usual weight on your mind, or you catch yourself humming a tune for no reason at all. Such internal shifts indicate that your spirit is in harmony with events taking shape externally. Be alert to sudden phone calls, text messages, or casual run-ins that provide opportunities you thought long gone. Sometimes even stumbling on a well-timed article or overhearing a random conversation can point you toward the next gateway. If you've been anxiously awaiting a specific resolution, perhaps a job you long ago applied for, a crucial legal document, or a personal milestone involving your home life, this period is your sweet spot. The universe rarely limits its generosity to grand gestures alone, though. Watch for smaller signs woven into the fabric of daily life. A stranger's thoughtful compliment that lands exactly when you need reassurance, or an old friend reappearing just as you crave real connection. Each act, no matter how ordinary it seems, can be a segment of the bigger tapestry the universe is weaving on your behalf. It's also common for these signs to materialize at the precise moment you feel you can't go on another day without clarity. If the timing feels almost too coincidental, like a door unlocking just as you place your hand on the knob, accept it as proof that cosmic schedules are intricately timed, not haphazard. Far from toying with your emotions, these last-minute marvels teach you to maintain faith up to the brink, reminding you that spiritual orchestration often arrives in dramatic but perfect intervals. When doubt resurfaces, consider practicing tangible gratitude. You might list 3 things each evening that went well, or reflect on how your interactions flowed more smoothly than before. By noticing even the tiniest improvements, an uplifting conversation, or a moment of peaceful silence, you gather tangible evidence that your blessing is inching closer to manifestation. Each incremental sign affirms that you're no longer trapped in wishful thinking. You're actively engaging with a fluid reality that responds to your changed outlook. The transition from merely hoping to knowing can happen in the blink of an eye, leaving you breathless at how quickly old energies dissolve. You might be surprised at how a single day, or even a few hours, can reset a situation you deem impossible to fix. Looking back, you'll trace how a single call, a meeting, or a fortuitous insight arrived right on cue, embodying the very essence of that 48-hour prophecy. Suddenly you realize that the constraints once defining you were more fragile than you thought. Each positive ripple reveals a path unburdened by limitation, confirming that when you shift your energy and open your heart, your destiny aligns with astonishing speed. Chapter 7. Entering your horizon of fulfillment. Now you stand on the brink of a horizon where the heaviest weights have been cast aside, where even the skepticism you harbored has softened into anticipation. The trials that once felt never-ending have clearly served their purpose. They honed your resilience, and they cleared the path for blessings to enter. This isn't a finale. It's more like a grand opening. Everything behind you has led to this moment, and everything ahead brims with the promise of your newly awakened potential. in the next 48 hours. As you witness tangible evidence that you have indeed passed the toughest tests of your life, consider what that means for your next steps. Let it motivate you to keep exploring the talents and dreams you once sidelined. Let it inspire you to take small, bold actions that align with your deepest yearnings. You're freer now, freer from old limitations, freer from the cycle of resistance that haunted you. Each dawn welcomes a version of you that's braver, more alive, and better equipped to savor the good that flows your way. Consider how this shift might color your relationships. People who supported you stand to rejoice in your blossoming, finding their own encouragement in your journey. Those who doubted or misunderstood you might now see a different side of your story, one that proves perseverance can yield miracles. In the uplifting of your own spirit, you open windows for others, showing them what's possible when determination and faith lead the way. And so, as the doors you once feared now stand open, as the remnants of self-doubt fade under the warmth of cosmic reward, you take your first steps into a reality governed less by struggle and more by possibility. You sense the transformation still ahead of you, but they no longer loom threateningly. Rather, they glimmer with excitement and the promise of discovery. An era of your life is closing with grace, and a new one, rich in potential, has begun to unfold. So you lean forward, heart unguarded, ready to welcome the gifts that match the growth you've earned. Embrace the next couple of days with a quiet thrill, knowing each hour could hold a revelation that shifts your narrative from trial to triumph. The path continues, each footstep guided by the sense that the hardest exams are behind you, and the stage is set for the unstoppable transformation you've worked so valiantly to make.